Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today we are going to talk about the Timegate stuff in this game. So we have people who like the Timegate, we have people who disagree with the Timegate, and I'm one of those person who kind of disagrees with it. Now, don't get me wrong, I love this game by all means, and it gave me a lot of hours, and yeah, I'm not here to say that it's a bad game or anything, but I do want to just point out that the limitations in this game is ridiculous. Like, I had was one part where I'm like farming arrows, and then they even time gate arrows. Like, I'm picking up like 10 to 20 arrows in one day, and then the next day I pick it up again, and then the following day it's like, oh, you cannot pick up any more arrows. I was like, really? You're even gonna time gate the arrows? Come on, man. How frugal do you have to be in this game? But anyways, let's get to the point. So I just want to tackle some of the arguments for people who are for the game, that for having it as a time gate. So one of the main arguments that I see is basically touch grass. It's not meant to be played in a single session. Play other games and come back, right? So that's like one of the main arguments for the time gates, but I would like to disagree with that, because for a live service game, disengagement actually means death. You have less playtime, which equals fewer habits formed. When you have fewer habits formed, fewer logins, and then you get fewer chances to sell cosmetic, and therefore more time away equals higher chance of never returning. So when the defenders say that go play other games, they're basically advertising competitors for free. Like, who does that? What kind of business model is that? Every time someone says touch grass or play other games, I hear, don't play this game right now. Like, what kind of business is that? It's like saying if you wanted to drink coffee, and you go to Starbucks, and then Starbucks says like, wait, we can't serve you right now because we just don't want your business. What store does that? So because in any normal product, if the best response to a criticism is to stop using it, or don't play it, or don't buy it, that means that the product isn't solving the problem, it's dodging it. And in a live service game, dodging the problem is how you lose players permanently. Because once people break that habit, they don't often come back, especially when the market has millions of other games begging for their time. Just look at the Steam numbers for this game, right? We went up to 250,000 at one point for the highest, and then now we're down to 10% of that number. We have only 25,000 on average now on Steam. It's like, where did all the people go? Well, they went to play other games because you said so. Make it make sense, guys. Make it make sense. Now, when someone says not meant to be played in a single session, like, come on. It's a game. Like, people play games for entertainment. Like, what kind of game is there that tells you like, wait, don't play this game right now because you need to do something else? Like, I already did something else and I want to come back and do this, but you're telling me to go back to do something else that I was already doing, that I don't want to do, that I want to play. Like, what? If I want to play 6 hours on my day off, I should be able to. And if I want to play 30 minutes after work, I should be able to do that too. The player decides the session length, not the timer. Time gates don't encourage healthy play. They're encouraging you to just log off and don't come back. And here's the part defenders ignore. When people log off, especially in a free-to-play live service game where the whole business model is keep people engaged, build habits, convert engagement into spending. Time gating is literally telling your customers, thank you for your interest. Please stop spending money here. Go to another store. What business does that? Spend all the money you want in this store, because we need the money, we want the profits. Now, there's going to be some people are going to say like, well, if you don't like how this is, why don't you play it? You don't have to play the game. China doesn't need Globo. Be lucky you even got this game, right? Because China have like 200 people who have the Mirage boat, and that's 40,000 a piece, right? 40, 50,000? Yeah, well, that's not really a good argument. It's like you're saying, stop complaining. They don't need your money. Do you know Chinese culture? Every single dollar is something for a Chinese person. I mean, if you ever have a Chinese friend or you ask a Chinese friend out, you know what the first thing they will say? You pay. So in a free-to-play game, you know, with $40 outfits, $200 outfits, to $800 gacha skins, and then a $40,000, $50,000 gacha boat with another one coming out that is going to be over 100,000. You don't. One person is enough. Like, we got 6 to 10 people in global that purchase it. Like, that's already a lot of money for them. Like, why would they just say, oh no, we don't need that? 6 to 10 people purchasing a Mirage boat, $500,000, boom, for doing nothing? I mean, it's good business for me, man. Well, why? NetEase, what's wrong? What's going on? Don't you like profits? Why are you making people not play your game when in a live service game, keeping people engaged and playing your game for longer will determine or will actually increase your revenue, because they will increase the chance of actually buying something because they're spending the time in your game a lot longer. Come on, business 101. What? I don't understand this Timegate. So global is a market, and market are there to make money. And if global players are spending, even a small group, that's still revenue. And revenue is not something companies look and say, oh wow, I'm making so much money, I think I need to stop. No, that's not how business works, man. Come on. Who's designing these time gates? Like, really? Now, another argument that I hear sometimes is like, time gates help people with jobs. It evens the playing field. I'm like, okay, yeah, this probably does not, but this is what? This is a single player game, right? And there's barely any multiplayer in this game. Single player games, you limit a person's time playing a single player game for what? What competition is there? Yourself? What? And not only that, let's give it a little bit of what you are trying to say. Now let's say if you are saying that you want to even the playing field for those people who can play 12 hours a day and those people who can only play 1 hour a day. Okay, then tell me why is it that older accounts have a severe advantage over newer accounts, you know? Players with older accounts, players who never missed a day, players who optimize every reset, player who already climbed the upgrade ladder early. If the whole system where account age equals power, then Timegates actually freezes the gap, okay? Because the veteran has more days to upgrades, more accumulated resources, more progress locked behind earlier time windows, and then the new players are going to be like, okay, how do I catch up now? The game goes like by waiting for a very, very long time. That's how you catch up. But you can't catch up because as you are catching up to a year after, the person before you that started will have another year after you. So you will never catch up because of the time gate. Why is it there? So if your solution to imbalance is everyone progress slower, all you did is keep the top players on top, make the bottom players stare at a wall longer, and if the game was meant for solo, then why does multiplayer content punish newer players so hard? Either it's solo focused and progression should feel smooth, or it's multiplayer competitive and it needs actual catch-up mechanics. Right now what we have here is the worst combo. Solo grinding pacing, multiplayer power gaps, time gates that lock new players into wait mode. Like, come on, get it together. Now, someone's gonna be like, okay, well, China has laws and that prevents people from playing too much, right? Hey, I hate to break it to you. We ain't China. We are global. Why do we have China law in global? Doesn't make sense. Make it make sense. So another argument that I hear is that NetEase Global doesn't have resources. They didn't, expect to succeed this much, so they're trying to hire people. You know what I'm saying? No. Okay. Do you know Chinese people are very efficient? We built the railroad in like a day or two, and then other countries need to take a whole year. Chinese people are so efficient that you can even see proof from my own gameplay. I'll show you that later. If Chinese people want to hire people really quickly, they will do that. If you say like get into the room and hire 20 people, we will get that room filled with 100 people. Because we really can do things so efficiently that is like what's the holdup? Is NetEase like not doing their job, or are they don't really care about profits in the global market? Because I see a lot of money in global market, because when I'm walking around, I'm going and checking everybody's outfit. Everybody's over $200 plus on their outfit, and I'm like, wow, NetEase must be making a lot of money. But wait, we only have 10% of the players now versus, 250,000 people. If we still kept 250,000 people on Steam, you know how much more money you can make? Let's say 1% of the 10% that we do have, you have 250 people actually making money. And then, take that even further. We have 250,000 people. You take 10% of that, you have 25,000 people spending money. Look at how much of a gap there is. That's like 100 times. You are missing out on 100 times profit by limiting a lot of players from not playing the game, and then, kicking them out, and they play another game and they never come back, and they're never going to spend on your game again. Boy, did I really do that math in my head. I'm really Chinese, ain't I? So here's the whole, conclusion. Here's the simple truth. A good live service game doesn't need to tell you to stop playing. It makes you want to keep playing. Think of Guild Wars 2 example. Think of Final Fantasy 14. Think of World of Warcraft. All these MMO that are out there. Why are they so successful? Not because of the time gate, but because they have a end game loop that they can keep doing every single day, and it's fun. And because of how great the combat is in Where Winds Meet, like, you can really take advantage of that if you have a good, loop going on daily, so that people will keep logging in and they have something to look forward to, And if people actually do touch grass, don't be shocked if they never come back and logging in, okay? Okay, so now I just want to dive into the game and tell you why the game even itself is saying that it should not be time gated. Alright, let's start with reason number 1. The path guide challenges. Let me get my freaking controller open. Let's see, is it this one? Okay, so let's get into why reason number 1 is the path guide for the title and everything. Yeah, look, okay, we're going to go to develop and we're going to go to path guide, right? This is the path guide that they have you wanting to do so that you can actually progress your character, because, the rewards for here is inner ways, 20 of them if you complete them. So, as you can see, every one of these I have maxed out almost, and or I did max out into the next breakthrough. A lot of people have not yet because they are time gated. For me, I did this because I thought things through. Not to say that you didn't think things through, but I thought things through, and I'm just, no offense or anything. But anyways, yeah, all I need is the DPS melee combat for the bamboo cut to max it out, and I could do that easily right now. I could just do it. Just reset one of the weapons. But I just recently found out that when you reset weapons, you lose like 20% of your gold, and I was like, oh crap, man. And you could actually convert your tips by going through the bag and things like that. Like, let me just show you very quickly. For those of you who watched my last video and I made a mistake. See, you go to your tips, right? And basically on your bag, and you go to your develop option over here, and you find the tips that you have. I don't think I have any left because I already converted, but basically you find it in your develop tab and you click on their tips. And then once you click on your tips, like let's say for this, and you click more, and it will have an option that you can convert it into the custom tips for free. So yeah, anyways, but back to my main point. So the game is saying that you should try to master all the weapon set. In order for you to play multiple different builds, you kind of need to grind them out, right? You cannot be stopped by the energy system. And the game is saying like, hey, I want you to play a tank. I want you to play a DPS range. I want you to play a healer. You have to play all of these with, good gear. Otherwise, it's like, wait, I can't play. Like, I'm gonna go, like, if I'm a DPS, I go into a healer for heal range combat, like for example. So as you can see, you have to max out every single one of these to get these rewards, and the rewards are pretty good for your inner ways. And in order for you to do that, you have to play multiple builds, right? And the game is telling you that you should play multiple builds. Otherwise, if you don't, you're not going to get the rewards that is here, the 20 inner ways that is really crucial for upgrading your gear. Yeah, that they say no, you cannot. So the time gate is telling you you cannot play multiple build. The game is telling you, wait, you should play multiple build. Now here's another reason why it's telling you that you should play multiple build, because of the season challenges. So for the season challenges, you see, you have to complete these 6 season challenges, 4 of them per path for each weapon set, 4 season challenge for each weapon set. And one of them is actually a healer, and you have to use that on online mode only. And if people only play DPS and they go in as a healer, they're severely lacking in healer inner ways unless they convert that. But then when they convert that, then what they're going to play after, you know, they do one run of the raid, and that's it. Like, they can't switch back to a DPS class because they don't have time. They lock you out because of the 3-day thing. So you go over here, if you lock out, you do the conversion, right? You got 3 days. You have to wait 3 days. Once you convert this to, you know, the healing path and you want to complete the season challenge, then what? How are you going to complete the other season challenge at that point? Like, you have to keep waiting and waiting until, you know, you can convert it back to, you know, another thing. That's not good. The game is not supposed to be played that way, right? I don't think any game, if you are trying to farm for something and you are stopped by an energy system, a time-gated system. So yeah, that basically, the game is telling you, like, you need to play multiple builds, but at the same time, the game is also telling you, wait, you cannot. Like, make up your mind. If you are going to be time-gated, you shouldn't have this many options to, you know, get the rewards that you get from the non-season challenge, right? You shouldn't be doing all of the weapons, and maybe you can only do one set of the weapon and it could apply to all of them. Maybe that would be a good way, because that way you can time gate that. But you're telling me that I need to do every single weapon set to get the rewards, and I can't do that if I'm time gated. Make it make sense. So another thing that we have that is, and reason number 2, is the Trinity class system. Normally, you know, in a Trinity class, you have alts, right? People play alt characters. And for this game, we have healer, tank, and DPS. And they even recommend you to play healer, tank, DPS in those raids. So, I don't know about you, but most MMORPGs or multiplayer games, when they have healer, tank, DPS, they have multiple characters, multiple alts, right? To be able to cover something that if they don't have covered, right? Because a lot of people have different schedules. A lot of people can't show up always on time on different days of the week that you set the raids. And in order for you to fill that gap, you have someone else who is able to play another character. And to have these different roles, you need a person who can play these different roles. So that way you are more flexible and you can get the game going and you can actually play the game. Instead of waiting around and say, like, wait, we don't have a healer today. Oh, tough luck. Wait until tomorrow until that healer comes online. Like, what? I want to do the raid today. Like, can someone change to a healer? But if someone changes to a healer, how is he going to change back to DPS when he wants to play DPS? Because he has to wait 3 days. What? I don't know. What kind of sense is that, right? The Trinity class system demands you to be able to play alts and be able to gear out the alts so that you don't suck during a raid and draw people down, you know? Like, oh yeah, you can go in as a healer, but your inner ways are going to be level 1. It's like, what? We're doing a level 81 boss and we need a healer that can actually heal. Level 1 inner way isn't going to cut it. It's like telling a DPS to go in with tier 1 stuff. Like, what? We want to kill the boss faster so that we could skip some of the mechanics. Or we want to be able to, you know, not die. Like, the longer you stay in a boss fight, the higher the chance people will die. But anyway, let's get to reason number 3. Okay, so reason number 3 is we have different enemy types in this game. I don't know, like, I don't even pay attention to it because you could just steamroll it without paying attention to it. But in theory, if you have different enemy types that have weaknesses to different weapon sets, doesn't that mean you have to, like, switch up your weapons so that you can be more efficient at killing things? Like, for example, if you see in my screen right now, those guys are weak against tank. What if I'm not a tank? Like, what if I'm Bellstrike? Now I'm disadvantaged against them, right? Like, let's say you're playing on legend difficulty and you're under level and you do want to take care of these mobs right here. In order for you to do that, you want to switch weapon sets so that you can actually gain an advantage with what they're weak against. But unfortunately, you cannot because you don't play that class and you didn't farm for it, and you cannot farm for it. No matter how hard you try, you can't farm for it because of the limit, the time gate. And yet the game is telling you, wait, you have to change your gear set so that you could defeat certain enemy types, but at the same time you cannot change your gear set because we time gauge you. It doesn't make sense, right? Now, albeit, you know, these things are easy and you don't really need to change, but in like many games that have weaknesses against certain weapon types, you can play those different weapons. Like take Ghost of Tsushima, for example. You know, it does a really good job with different stances. This game could have really improved its combat with that type of system, right? You have weaknesses, you change up your different play styles, and, you know, playing different weapons, and it could be a lot more fun at that point. I mean, that's in my opinion, but I think, you know, playing a lot of different weapons, I think it makes the game more engaging and more fun. You know, different ways to tackle enemies, I think that will always be very strategic and more fun. So now we go into my last reason, and I know this video has gotten too long, but my last reason is the RNG in gear. If we are time gated, why the hell is there so much RNG in our gear selection? So we go to our gear, right? Not only that you have RNG for your legendary drops, right? But you also have RNG for your legendary recommended stats, right? And sometimes you don't get the ones you want, and most of the times, or some of the times, I guess, you never get your recommended stats, and then you have to change it. But then you're also, when you try to change them, now you're time gated on that. It's like, it's, please help, how, why, like. So look at this, right? I want to change out this stone split because I'm not using stone splits, but I need a retuning stone falcon, which I only can get through a time gated system that I only get once a week, and I only can change that once a week. And I have other gear sets that I need to change, and I can't change because I have to wait for that 1 week to pass, and I can't optimize my gear that way. And then on top of that, this is only one set, and if I want to play another set or another, you know, different weapon set, and then want to be better on that, I can't, because I see where I'm going with this. You time gating these gear and the RNG drops, and then, you know, let's say you wasted all your energy, you got one legendary, and then that one legendary turned out to be crap. It's like, oh crap, now I have to wait 2 to 3 days in order for me to farm again. You know, farm a lot more, I guess, or wait a day or something like that, whatever the energy system, however you farm. But as you see, like, you're spending energy to get an RNG that most likely will not drop the one you want, and then you have to do it again and again, and the days goes by and you're not really farming because you're stopped by the energy system and you can't get your optimal gear. If you're going to implement a limitation and have like these time gate stuff, the RNG should be really less bad than what we have here. Sometimes I got a whole row that it was like stone split, bell strike, and then I got like silk bind. Like, what? Why is that even a row? And on top of that, you also have stats that can roll differently too. Sometimes the stats won't be as high as, you know, another stats, because now you have this complicated system that you need these little things here, the supreme melody, to actually make the stat be 100%. You have so many different things going on, but at the same time you stop it because of the time gate. I don't know, man. Like, what are you doing for the business here? Like, we're losing players every day. People aren't coming back. Crimson Desert is like around the corner for next month. It's gonna draw people away as well. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen at this point. I mean, I know you're releasing Hashi in the next month, but is that gonna be enough, like, to keep people playing? Especially with all this problems that I just discussed in this video. Like, I know that there are more arguments out there. I just point out the main ones. And if you do have, like, if you do agree, disagree, you know, leave in the comments below why. And if you have more complaints about it, leave it in the comments below. The purpose of this video is to actually raise awareness that I think NetEase needs to do for global has to be different than what they have done with China, because global is it's a different playing field. So all in all, I mean, I do love the game. I played over 500 hours and I had 500 hours of content even with the time gate. I mean, obviously it would have been a lot more hours if there wasn't a time gate. But again, like the game is great, but it has flaws, and I just pointed out all these flaws. And I mean, am I gonna stop playing because of these flaws? Probably not, because I like the game. I love the game. You know, I have 4 different alts that are 85, and all of them have a different weapon set on. That's another set for another video, but yeah. So guys, let me know what you think down below. What do you think about the time gated system? You know, I just pointed out all these things. Do you agree with my take, or do you want to shill for the company and say, like, you know, they're doing their best, and this time gate is actually good for us? Like, I don't know. I need to see a valid, good argument that the time gate is actually good for us, but I can't see that at all. I mean, this is the first game that I played that is gacha system like this. I have never played another game that has $200 outfits. Let me know if you ever play other games that have $200 outfits as a norm. But for me, spending any amount of money for pixelated items is not what I ever imagined doing. And now I guess it has become the norm. I mean,